Why did Android 18 fall in love with Krillin? Is it because he didn't destroy her with the remote? Wrong. Is it because he picked her up and saved her from Cell? Wrong. Or is it because he wished the bomb out of her chest? No. The reason that Android 18 fell in love with Krillin is because she respects a man that takes care of himself and holds himself up to high-level grooming standards. And how do you hold yourself up to those high standards and bag a queen like Android 18? Well guys, you keep yourself fully clean shaven like Krillin. And how do you do that? With Manscaped, the most versatile and reliable male grooming kit on the market. The sweet scent of the ball toner and ball deodorant is sure to keep your Android waifu very happy. Use my code BlackScape to get 20% off all Manscaped gear, including the Lawnmower 3.0. That way you guys can stay as silky smooth as Krillin is on a day-to-day basis. It is the only razor that he recommends, and it will help you bag the Android 18. Trust me, your Dragon Balls will thank you.
Prepare yourself.
Smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you never miss a video. I got two things to say. Number one, I really do hope you guys enjoyed my Dragon Ball Manscaped ad that I had at the beginning of this video, because I took a lot of time and effort in putting that, crafting that together, making that as awesome and lit as possible, and doing that using my code BlackScape for anything on Manscaped really helps out the channel, helps me out, helps out my family, and helps out the squad. So I really do appreciate anybody that uses my code to buy something off of Manscaped. I use the product myself. I got myself one, and I'm telling you right now, it is phenomenal. Number two, you guys may have noticed in yesterday's video that the thumbnail kept changing over and over again. That is because the thumbnail was deemed too much for YouTube, and YouTube took it down, and I had to put up a substitute thumbnail. Now, I appealed this decision. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take for them to come back to me, but yeah, that was the Goku Trains Caulifla newest episode, and it sucks because something like that happens. It fucks with the video on its own and makes it so that video doesn't grow. So if you have not seen that video, Goku Trains Caulifla, I'm gonna have a link to it in the description below. Go ahead and check it out. And honestly, that's kind of the reason that I do sponsorships like Manscaped in the first place, because YouTube does all these shenanigans in the background that you guys don't see, and it really affects the channel. Today we have the newest chapter of Kale vs. Dreamscape, which is the Dragon Ball fan manga story that ships Goku and Kale. Now, I know I'm gonna get a lot of you guys interested, curious, and maybe some of you guys with a lot of anger toward not only the thumbnail of this video, but also the title. And that is because a lot of people don't like to ship Goku with anybody else. But watch the video in its entirety, and I'm sure, I am positive to those naysayers, I am going to change your mind, or at least Kaleverse is going to change your mind as to what the possibilities are when you ship different characters and what type of dynamics that brings out. So let's go ahead and get started. In the last chapter, Kale was trying to get Goku to tell her about his feelings toward Caulifla, and she thought that maybe he had some sort of romantic connection with Caulifla instead of Kale, but that doesn't seem to be the case, because Goku actually thinks that Caulifla is a very boring fighter. Caulifla has excelled in all her fighting abilities and training, but at the same time, she's not doing anything new. She's just essentially copying everything that Goku is teaching her. There is no wild card. There's nothing that interests Goku, and Kale has to jump in and defend her bestie against Goku, who basically has put her at the bottom of the barrel. And Kale's only real argument is that Caulifla became a Super Saiyan extremely fast, and that shows her prowess as a fighter. Now let's go into what Goku believes about that. Goku says that Kaba has told them that Caulifla was the first one after Kaba to become a Super Saiyan, and how easily she became became a Super Saiyan at that. And Kale's like, that shows a lot. That shows that she's extremely powerful and a talented warrior. And Goku's like, well, it says something. Kale's like, you had a hard time with it, right? She made it look easy, comparing apples and oranges. The fact that Caulifla became a Super Saiyan by the tingly feeling, and Goku, it took him a long time. The Saiyan race in Universe 7 a long time to become Super Saiyans, and then when Goku did it, it was because his best friend died. You think easy is better? And that is a question for everybody in the Dragon Ball community. Is easy or better? Do you have to struggle to be worth something and for your transformation to mean something? Or the fact that you can get things really easily, does that make it better or easier in that aspect? Like, those are serious questions that this Dragon Ball fan manga is asking us. Goku does not deny that Caulifla has talent and she is an exceptional fighter, but the fact that she got Super Saiyan so easily doesn't really mean anything, because his own son, Goten, got Super Saiyan just by doing a little bit of sparring with Chi Chi. Not to mention the fact that Trunks became a Super Saiyan with no real explanation at all. They both became Super Saiyans extremely young and through a 7-year period of peace. So the fact that Caulifla was able to gain it so fast really doesn't mean much, seeing as how Goten and Trunks did the exact same thing. And I remember when that first happened, when I was watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, when I saw that they became Super Saiyans so quickly, I originally was super excited because I liked their designs. I liked that he was a little Goku. I liked the way Trunks looked, and I liked the fact that they became Super Saiyans at a young age. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was like, I mean, Goku and everybody else had struggled and blood, sweat, and tears and everything to become Super Saiyan, especially future Trunks, and these kids came out of it like it's nothing. So I was a little upset, but not too much. I feel like people were more upset about Caulifla because of the tingly feeling thing. I think that translation or that whole dialogue was just terrible. If she had pushed herself a little bit and fought Kaba when he was a Super Saiyan and she was base form and she had to push herself to become Super Saiyan, that would have been awesome, but that's not the case and that's not what happened, and Goku is not impressed as to how fast Caulifla became a Super Saiyan. Goku believes that Caulifla is far more similar to Vegeta because Caulifla is the most talented Saiyan in Universe 6, and Vegeta was a high-class Saiyan, a super elite, and both of them seemingly were outclassed by other Saiyans, and Vegeta was the same way. He had to break the chip off his shoulder and become one with who he was fighting and what he was fighting for, and that developed his pride and pushed him beyond his limits. I mean, he's still trying to catch up to Goku, but he's far closer now after he dropped all the ego, everything, and became more humble, became more nurturing with his family and protective. Once he did all that and stopped aiming for Goku, he became far more powerful, and that is the reason that Goku thinks that Caulifla is similar to Vegeta. Vegeta and Caulifla need to both let go of their ego, and Caulifla has not done that yet, so she still has a long way to go before Goku realizes her true potential. And it just shows how Goku views Vegeta as well. Like, Vegeta isn't really one to surprise Goku either, I guess. And so Kale still can't wrap her head around it because she understands the way that she's comparing both these two Saiyans together and their motivations, but still Caulifla became a Super Saiyan very quickly, and Goku and Vegeta both struggled extremely hard with it. Caulifla and Kaba are both first generation Super Saiyans, as opposed to Goten and Trunks, who are essentially like third generation Super Saiyans. So Kale is arguing that there's still a lot of merit as to what Caulifla accomplished. Goku means no disrespect to Caulifla at all. It was just that they had completely different circumstances. I mean, Caulifla was shown by another Super Saiyan how to transform and what to do, so she was given guidelines, as opposed to Goku, who went off of passion, anger, and hatred to become a Super Saiyan in a dire situation, and Vegeta didn't want Goku's help to become a Super Saiyan, and he did it on his own by pushing his body beyond its limits and just accepting the fact that he needs to let go of some stuff to become a Super Saiyan. So there are different situations as to them becoming a Super Saiyan, and Kale doesn't understand why he is belittling Caulifla's transformation and why he keeps saying that Kale is stronger when it was harder for her to become a Super Saiyan in the first place. But Kale realizes that she really doesn't know Goku's story as to when he became a Super Saiyan, so she can't understand his perspective, and Goku's like, well, I can tell you. But Goku realizes that he's not very good at telling stories, which is true. It always feels like Goku forgot about the last fight when he enters the new one. Like, he doesn't really remember things in the past, so he probably wouldn't be very good at telling stories, but he says, I can show you the story. And Kale's like, what do you mean you can show me? And this got me interested at first. I'm like, how is he gonna show her? Is he gonna like wish for Shenron to bring them back somewhere, or just to see the fight, or have Whis do it? Because remember, Whis did show the fight to Beerus when Beerus woke up, but Goku says, I'll do a mind meld, which for those of you guys who are Star Trek fans would recognize that ability. Essentially, you can give all your emotions and your feelings and your memories to somebody briefly, but you have to connect with them on a psychological level. And that's exactly what Goku says. He can share his memories with Kale. And I just gotta show this cover by Kaleverse that shows the next arc of this series, which is going to be essentially a flashback to Kale being able to see the fight between Goku and Frieza, and her actually see one of the most epic fights in anime history, which I cannot wait to see. Like, this is going to be awesome. Even the cover just shows how awesome this looks and how awesome and epic it's going to be, and how he's saying that it is different circumstances. It quite literally is night and day. But Kale flips out. She does not want any part of this. She does not want Goku to go into her head and basically infiltrate her thoughts. Remember, Kale likes Goku, so this would be outing herself as to how she actually feels about Goku. And Goku's trying to tell her, no, it's just the best way to give you the full experience of the fight and everything. And Kale's calling him a jerk, like, no, we are not sharing anything. Your body's not going into my body, nothing like that. And Goku starts flipping out. Alright, that's it. I'm just trying to do something nice so maybe we can get along a little bit better, and you are just driving me nuts. God, you're worse than my ex-wife. Okay. Alright, guys. This is a huge, huge drop in this Dragon Ball fan manga. Because the entire time that I'm watching this, that I'm reading this, I am thinking that this Goku is going to be with Chi Chi, right? That's what we all thought, right? And it just felt bad that he would go with Kale in their bikinis to the beach when Chi Chi's at home waiting for him, right? Well, I've said it before in a few videos that this is a completely different universe than the one that we know. And so in this universe, it seems like it's confirmed by Kaleverse herself in the comments of this page, but Goku and Chi Chi have split a long time ago. So it makes sense that Goku would be with Kale like this on the beach somewhere else. And Chi Chi is his ex-wife. I mean, like, the next panel shows that she was terrible and she was trying to hurt somebody. You're a whole new level of crazy, you know that? Goku flipping out. And then he says, but at the same time, it's hot, which I think that that's the direction this is going. Originally, I thought it wasn't going that direction. I thought that Goku and Kale would be like this sort of like quasi, like Kale would have a crush on him and stuff. It looks like this is going to go all the way down to the finish line where Goku and Kale are absolutely going to get together. And it looks like that's the entire point of this story. And man, Goku's just really mad about Chi Chi. Like, the way he describes her as nuts and crazy, and she was trying to hurt somebody, which I could see Chi Chi going crazy on Goku and doing something or whatever, my jaw was on the ground when I read this panel. I'm reading this and finding this out at the same time as you guys, so this is crazy. But this is the end of what we have so far for this Dragon Ball fan manga, guys. Make sure to follow Kaleverse on Twitter for more updates on the new chapters. And if you made it to this point in the video, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. As always, make sure to drop #EarlyVideoSquad next to your comment for a chance to be given a shout out in my next video. Today's #EarlyVideo shout out goes to Esparta, aka me, sees the thumbnail. Instant nosebleeds. Yeah, the thumbnail was spicy, but too spicy for YouTube, and I'm sure that they got a nosebleed when they saw it as well. Thank you so much for your comment. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.